Stellar. Thank you so much, Cara. This is great. Truly an honor to be here. I've done a lot of self-inquiry in my life. The yogic tradition impresses it as the path to enlightenment, but more importantly and more tangibly, self-inquiry boosts self-awareness and allows us to uh, get a better understanding of ourselves, create a stronger relationship with ourselves, and in so doing, we create a stronger relationship with others and perhaps a higher power or just that universal divine flow. So that is the path to manifesting your greatness. You have to go within to express without. So um, I'd love to just kind of give a little brief introduction to what breathing is and the general rules of breathing. Um, and then we can move into a little bit of gentle movement while seated. You don't have to get up, actually. If you're seated, this is perfect. And then we'll combine that with breathing, and we'll get into some deeper layers of breath. So breath, just so you know, breath is beyond the biomechanical act. It is what you were born with. It is what will go out when you die. And it is everything in between. It is the greatest tool that you carry with you at all times to access higher states of consciousness. The tens of billions of molecules we bring in with every breath serve another role. They influence nearly every internal organ in your body. CO2 becomes a universal hormone in your body that every tissue produces. So it affects heart rate, digestion, moods, and attitudes. And if you want to talk about uh, making leaps and bounds in this world, it's impossible to do if you can't control your physiology. If you can't direct your energy and master your emotions, none of this matters. You will be inhibited until you get control of that. So breath is that tool. Breath is the most easily accessible tool that goes with you wherever you are. So speaking to that same thing about regulation, I'm going to speak to affect regulation. Now, affect regulation is your inner emotional and bodily experience. Another way to say that, it's your moment-to-moment experience of your internal bodily sensations. What are you feeling right now? And we can put that on a spectrum from 1 to 10, where 1 is complete numbness and shut down, and 10 is sheer panic or rage. And 5 to 6 is hopefully where you are right now, where you're kind of in a relaxed excitement. You're regulated. You're able to listen, engage, offer, and receive. Now, dysregulation is kind of those outer numbers, right? 1 to 3, 7 to 10. And we call it hypo and we call it hyper, and they're often equated. Like hypo is equated with shame, hopelessness, despair. If you're in that kind of state, you're going to feel these emotions. You're going to be living in those emotions. And then if you're in hyper, you tend to live in more of a jittery state that is accompanied by panic, terror, or rage. And you can't live in these states for long. You're not meant to. Biologically, physically, you're not meant to live in anxiety. You're not meant to live in depression. It is why suicidal thoughts come up for those who are troubled by these plagues for too long. So the regulation of dysregulation is easier for some because of one reason: trauma. Trauma related to your childhood, trauma related to your development from infancy into your young, adolescent and teenage years. And you might not have thought you may not think you had a very big traumatic lifestyle or traumatic events that occurred in your life. But the reality is, if you were a baby and your parents, specifically your mother or your primary caregiver, maybe that was your father, couldn't attune to your needs as a child, as an infant, if they couldn't understand that we were crying because you had an upset stomach and they were trying to give you warm blankets, but that wasn't helping, or they were trying to feed you, but you had an upset stomach, then you weren't properly attuned with, and that creates dysregulation. So as an infant, we rely on our parent figures, our caregivers, to regulate us. It is the first form of attachment, and it forms a very healthy brain and forms a very healthy ability to self-regulate. So what I really want you to take away from that, again, the 5% of what I want you to take away from that affect regulation is your ability to regulate your affect, your inner emotions and sensations, is the foundation upon which your functional sense of self develops. It is your identity. It is your mindset. It is how you see and interact with the world. And Tony Robbins puts this into practice perfectly. If you've ever been a part or listened to anything he's done, his UPW events they're just like the most jamming concert you've ever been at. You're always on your feet. You're always jumping up and down. You're screaming, you're yelling, you're loving it. You're sharing with your neighbors. You didn't even meet this person, but you're interacting like they're your best friend. So getting control of your physiology is so important. It's what Talib calls anti-fragile. It's a great book, well worth looking it up. So this allows us to reestablish trust. When we can affect regulate, we can reestablish trust. And trust is the basis of everything in this world, of how we see and interact with the world. If you can't trust that the person driving down the road at you in the incoming traffic is not going to veer out of those little dash lines, if you can't trust that, then how are you ever going to go out in your car and go to the grocery store? If you can't trust that you don't walk outside and it's not going to, the sun is not going to be rain in a matter of minutes, then how do you know what to wear? How do you trust what you're wearing is okay? So anyways, trust is at the basis of it, and affect regulation allows you to feel safe. So there's 3 rules of breath, and I want to get into those rules of breath. The first rule of breath is always in through your nose, out through your nose. Nasal breathing. And I've taken this to such an extreme degree. For the past 8 months, I've been taping my mouth at night. I have taken a little 3M tape and I tape across so that I'm not a mouth breather at night, so I can actually breathe through my nose. And there's a whole host of health benefits, lower blood pressure, an ability to lose more weight. You can actually increase your nitric oxide, which increases blood circulation. It also increases libido and general vitality. But breathing in through your nose and out through your nose also, it shapes your face. It's why the Native Americans and other tribes are symmetrical in their faces, and we in the West are tending to have crooked noses and deviated septums and crooked teeth. It comes down to chewing and nasal breathing. So rule number 1, nasal breathing. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. Rule number 2, into the belly. Big belly Buddha breath. Just think of the Buddha. Think of that big old happy smile and that big old belly, and breathe like that. It's going to change your world. If you do one thing coming away from this, if you can expand into your belly with your breath instead of shallow breathing with the shoulders pinned like earrings, you will feel tremendously better. And you can even notice throughout your next week, that's your homework. Notice when you are stressed, are your shoulders pinned and is your breath shallow? I guarantee it is. I still see it in myself constantly. So nasal breathing and then navel breathing. And I'll give you a little more cueing on that. Number 3, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. But really the reality is less is more. Let's just say less is more. Rule number 3, less is more. So we actually tend to be over breathers, taking more breaths per minute, more breaths per day than we actually need. So if we can learn to elongate our breathing, especially the exhale, we can actually improve the quality of our lives, the physiology of our body, and the anti-aging effects are profound. Won't go into the science. We'll just swim in that for hours, almost drown in it. And so the analogy I want you to think of, to visualize when we're doing this, is sitting in a rowboat. And if you were rowing, going up a lake, going backwards on one of those rowboats, or going forward, either way. If you were to do fast and short, quick, rapid strokes, you'll get there, right? It'll work. It definitely works. It's why it's been working for you and you're still alive to this day. But if you were to do long, slow, smooth strokes, you would also get there, but it might be a different journey. So, number 1, nasal breathing. Number 2, navel breathing. Number 3, less is more. We'll go with less is more. So we'll start with our first breath, and it's called Samavriti in the yogic tradition, which means equal fluctuations. You can just consider it equal breathing to remember it easy. And I want you to remember it as water. Water can be drinking at any time. It's always good to drink water and stay hydrated. So think of this breath as water to be used at any time, any day or night. And it is simply breathing in for the same length as you exhale. So we'll practice that nasal, navel, and less is more breathing with equal part inhale, equal part exhale. So find a comfortable position. Ensure that your spine is upright. It helps to have your hips above your knees. If you're sitting in a chair with your feet on the ground, that's a very great grounding practice. So continue that. And then we're just going to inhale. Let our shoulders melt as we exhale down our back. So no true control over the breath, just inhaling, filling up the navel, releasing the shoulders, releasing stress. Again. Now we'll begin a 4-count inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time through your count. About 5 in, 5 out. Now we're going to take that same breath and we're going to add a little bit of movement just to honestly free up the hips and free up the cervical spine. It very much helps to really lengthen the breath, access the depth. So we'll start by taking the right hand. We'll do right hand to left knee, twisting over our left shoulder. You can prop your left hand up behind you. And then go ahead and look over your left shoulder. Even turn your eyes far to the left. Get a little eye stretch in there. If you've ever done or heard of EMDR, the eyes are part of your nervous system. Using them, stretching them can create strong parasympathetic effects. Now we'll bring in the in for 4 or 5. It was whatever was easier for you to access without panic or tension. Two more rounds. Filling up the back body as if you were flooding the plains along the Nile. And releasing to the other side. Left hand comes to the right knee, twisting over the right shoulder. Also using the neck to gently twist. Eyes go to the right as well. And then again, engage 4 to 5 count inhales and exhales. Using one continuous breath, nearly eliminating the pauses between. One more cycle here. And back to neutral position. I don't have any clocks in front of me, I realize. So, Cara, when there's about 5 minutes left, just give me a little signal. I can see you. We'll drop now into the neck. So we'll release the right hand down. And I do want to offer it to you. Box breathing, developed by the Navy SEALs in order to slow the heart rate. And actually Navy SEAL snipers, and slow the heart rate and bring focus and concentration. You can stick with the Samavriti, the equal breathing, the water breath, or you can add this breath in, which is pausing for the same amount of time at the top and pausing for the same amount of time at the bottom of your breath. So there's breath holds involved. They can be a little bit tricky for some people, but they're also very revealing. It goes back again to the trust. Your body is totally capable of holding its breath for 5 seconds on both the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. But we tend to feel panic and then mistrust, and escape is usually our reaction. So I offer it to you. If it's causing any problems, go back to the water. So we're going to place the left hand down. If we can, slide it away from you. If that's not available, if you're sitting on a chair, just hang it and let the shoulder, the left shoulder fall away. So I'm going to slide mine away because I'm a big sofa couch. And then I'm going to press into that hand, which creates a little bit of a side bend. Then I'm going to drop my left ear to my left shoulder, and I'm going to tuck my right arm bent behind my back towards my left hip pocket, which really drops the right shoulder out of the equation. Now you should push your right ear, the tip of your right ear, away from the top of your right shoulder. Don't do too much. And then re-engage with your breath. I'm going to lead the box breathing. Exhale all your breath. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your back arm, send it overhead, and create a nice side stretch in your ribs. Just focus on sending your breath into your right side ribs. Let's go again with the box breathing. Exhale all your breath. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your elbow. Inhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Place the hand on the back of your head. Continue holding your breath. Press your head into that hand and send your elbow out and away. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release here. Go into the other side. So moderate your effort. If you're putting out too much effort, creating too much strain, you're releasing CO2, your body will want to claim more air. It's called air hunger. Slide your left hand out and away. Slide over here. I'm going to slide mine into the seat cushion here. And then that pulls my right shoulder down. And then let's go with the left hand. Bend the left arm, slide it behind your back towards your right hip pocket. And then let that right ear come to the right shoulder. Again, water breath is perfect, honestly. Especially if you can engage the navel breathing and the nasal breathing. And then we'll go, 1 second. So we'll go to the other side. And we'll just do 2 rounds here. It's more about the breath and the stretch. So begin, inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. And trust. And release. Going arm up and overhead. Let's return to water breathing just to neutralize the breath. Let's extend it to 6, maybe 8 counts. I'll go with 6 for the count. Breath in, breath out, fully out. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And bring it back to neutral. Hopefully everyone feels a little bit better there with water breath. I'm going to take you through 2 more breath works. The second one is known as coffee. Coffee is obviously not supposed to be used at night, right? Maybe not even in the afternoon, but it's good for the maybe mid-afternoon drop. It's also great in the morning. So it's known as Kapalabhati, skull cleansing breath, and breath of fire. You might have heard it as breath of fire. It brings energy from your energy centers up. In all traditions, we understand the power of the gut and this general area of energy. It's where food is digested and turned into energy. It's where essentially the bottom 2/3 of your lungs are, which are the bottom third of your lungs are, which are responsible for 2/3 of your oxygen absorption. And the gut-brain axis has been heavily studied in Western science, so it's very important to understand that whether you're coming from a Taoist, yogic, or Western philosophy, This is your energy center that can always be tapped into, as long as you're not, like I was yesterday, very nauseous. So this requires drawing your navel in and snapping it back like a rubber band. If you've just eaten, I'd say do this mildly. I'm actually recording this video so you can follow me on my YouTube or find it on my YouTube channel. But this is a snapping motion with the navel, which forces air out of your nose. And naturally, when you relax that snap, your lungs expand and it sucks air back in. So you don't have to inhale. You don't have to focus on the inhale. It will happen naturally. I'll demonstrate about 4 or 5 rounds here. We'll inhale halfway. And if you have any tissues or you need to get any tissues, feel free to do so. I just was in the sauna, so luckily I'm doing pretty good. We'll do about 20 rounds 2 times. So it'll go by quickly. You'll get a good sense of it. And the more you can kind of draw your navel up and in, it's like you're lifting your rib cage off your hips. Again, this is coffee breath. So it has stimulatory effects. It has mental clarity effects. It is everything you want. And I elaborated on other breathworks, but for now, this is a great place to start and just to master this technique. Looks like I'm pretty good. We'll begin by exhaling fully, inhaling halfway, 20 times. Big breath in. Hold at the top. Feel that breath move into the belly. Span the navel out in an omnidirectional fashion, like you are breathing a big ball into the basin of your belly. And exhale when ready. So we emit a lot of CO2. We put off a lot of that gas when we do this breath. So you may get lightheaded if you do it for extended periods of time. But it's just really profound and very healthy. We'll do it again, 1 more round. Let's do 30 this time, or 2 sets of 15, whatever's easier for you. So always feel free to do a reset breath in between. So let's take a breath in and a breath out. Halfway in, and start snapping back 30 times. Play with pace, or even slow it down. Big breath in, fill up the navel in an omnidirectional fashion. Smile like the Buddha. And sigh it out. I really implore you to encourage that one next time you need a little energy shift. You're not near a coffee shop or your coffee maker. Try it in your car on the way to your next event. If you're feeling a little bit down, it'll pick you right up. Last one I want to leave you with is known as whiskey breath. Whiskey breath is essentially, it's also used by the Navy SEALs, but it was developed by a doctor for his patients that were dealing with insomnia. It's basically the same thing we did with the breath hold, but just at the top. It's called 4, 7. I'm gonna try that again. 7, 8 breathing. 4, 7, 8 breathing. Let's hope I can count this one out. Yoga teachers are not known for their counting. So 4, 7, 8 breathing is really, really awesome because you get this very still moment at the top. And then this long extended exhale, which is related to the parasympathetic nervous system. That's important because parasympathetic is your rest and digest, your breed and feed. It is what you need to be in order to do the most essential functions in life. So we'll begin. And again, this is all about 2 points of control to extend your breathing. It's going to be your diaphragm, which is the main muscle that drives your breath, because your lungs aren't a muscle. They're just like sponge cake. Your diaphragm is your muscle that moves the air in and out by raising and lowering. Then you want to constrict your throat. That's your other point of control. We call this the third diaphragm. And when you create a little bit of constriction here, just a soft constriction, like you were fogging up a mirror, that is a great way to control your breathing and elongate the breath you have with the lung capacity you were born with and developed. So we'll go 4, 7, 8, and we'll start with a full clean inhale. And exhale completely. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Should be getting better at it. Keep breathing in. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Trust your body. This is all about practice. Hold. 7. Let that breath expand. Trust that breath, that your body can exchange the CO2 for the oxygen and nourish the cells. Release. 8, 7, 6, 5. Nice and smooth. 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8. Trust your body. 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8. You can do this. You are capable of it and everything. 2, 1. Last one. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Return to water breathing or just normalize your breath. I appreciate you all joining me on that journey. Let's just take a quick moment to observe how we feel. That's probably the most important thing after a pranayama or breathwork practice, either with quiet eyes or focused gaze. If you feel tension, if you felt panic, your practice needs to be tuned, changed ever so slightly. And it is a practice. We call it a practice for that reason. So the last thing I'll leave you with is why, right? We should always start with why. We should always know why we're doing something. And all dysfunctional patterns that we live in, addiction, lashing out behavior, anger, are attempts to get regulation. We have a biological mandate to regulate. It's for our survival. And the state of your nervous system dictates the possible range of behaviors that you can access. So if your nervous system is dysregulated, you can't provide a warm, calm tone in a conversation. You can't present your best self. And again, the regulation can be ever so slight to get out of that 4 to 6 range. That's